Okay, back with another accent feedback video. Not too much info to go off of, so we're just going to go right into it.
We are probably all familiar with background music in films.
Okay, so off the bat, right, on the we. So,
We are probably
right, I'm kind of hearing V, V, V. So, basically I'm hearing too much that frication there. Instead of a wah, wah, woo, 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 woo. A suggestion I would make to you perhaps is try to pronounce that wah as like a combination of vowels. So like ooh ah, 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 and then just speed it up, right? So go like ooh ah, and then just keep speeding it up, and until you get to wah wah. Because right now I'm kind of hearing va va, v v instead of we.
all familiar with. We are probably all familiar.
Okay, the vowel on probably in the first syllable, I'm kind of hearing like probably.
We are probably
But we want probably. We are probably all familiar.
all familiar.
And then on familiar in that final syllable, kind of hearing familiar.
We all familiar.
Familiar, maybe not.
Familiar. We are probably all familiar with background music.
Maybe that's fine. All right, never mind. We'll leave that alone for now.
We are probably all familiar with background music in films.
Okay, on that word films, what's wrong? I'm kind of hearing films.
With background music in films.
Films. But I want films, film, film.
With background music in films.
Where I'm kind of hearing film. Though, I want to say in certain British accents, that's fine. So, I guess it depends on what you're going for. But I'm not quite certain because I don't have a British accent, right? But keep that in mind if you do want to go for an American accent.
Which has become so ubiquitous as to films.
Okay, on that ubiquitous, just a small mispronunciation, right? We want ubiquitous instead of ubiquitous.
So ubiquitous as to be noticeable in its absence.
Okay, the what's wrong?
Noticeable in its absence. Become so ubiquitous as to be noticeable in its absence. Become so ubiquitous as to be noticeable in its absence.
Noticeable. Okay, I'm kind of hearing noticeable instead of noticeable.
Ubiquitous as to be noticeable in its absence.
No. Okay, so first of all, on the no, right? I'm kind of hearing no, noticeable, instead of no, noticeable.
Which has become so ubiquitous as to be noticeable.
No, so I'm hearing no instead of no. So no, notice instead of no. I want no, oh, instead of oh. And then on the final syllable, I'm kind of hearing boo, instead of bull, like almost like bull, noticeable, instead of noticeable. I'm hearing noticeable, but I want noticeable.
Become so ubiquitous as to be noticeable in its absence. We are aware that it is.
Okay, yeah. So I'm hearing the same thing on that the wa and aware that I was at the beginning. I'm kind of hearing aware.
We are aware that it is used to add emotion and rhythm. You add emotion and rhythm. Usually not meant to be noticeable, it often provides. Used to add emotion and rhythm. Usually not meant.
Okay, I'm kind of hearing usually instead of usually. It sounds devoiced there.
Rhythm. Usually not.
Sh. I'm hearing yush instead of yuj. So I'm hearing sh instead of zh. So we just want that consonant to be voiced.
That it is used to add emotion and rhythm. We are aware that it is used to add emotion and rhythm.
Okay, and then also to go back a little bit on the word that, right?
We are aware that it is used to absence. We are aware that it is.
I'm kind of hearing that, instead of that. We are aware that, but I'm hearing we're aware that that. So we want and so there on that vowel.
Is used to add emotion and rhythm. Usually not meant to be noticeable, it often provides a tone or an emotional
Okay.
attitude.
So on this provides, right? It sounds like the consonant actually here you're using for the v is the same one you're using for the v in like we and I can't remember the other aware, right? So I'm hearing this provide instead of provide. So right, we want those consonants to be quite distinct, and in this case for the v in provide, make sure your top teeth are in contact with your lower lip as you're doing that frication, v. But right now, it sounds like you're just using the lips, if I were to guess.
Not meant to be noticeable, it often provides a
Yeah, I'm hearing provides instead of provides.
to be noticeable, it often provides a tone or an emotion.
Okay, and also just on a prosodic level, in terms of like your like rhythm, your melody, so to speak, the intonation's a little funny there. So okay, right. In this case, provides is being used as a transitive verb, right? It provides, like it provides whatever, right?
Usually not meant to be noticeable, it often provides a tone or an emotional.
Okay, it often provides a tone. So because the verb's transitive, I wouldn't expect this like pause on the verb because there's more that comes after. But if I were to say like he provides, okay, that's fine, right? Because there it's intransitive. But because you're saying it provides something, I'm kind of hearing it provides, like it provides a tone instead of it provides a tone, right? So there's just a small thing.
Or an emotional attitude, it often provides a tone or an emotion.
Okay, on the word tone, I think I'm hearing a unaspirated T. Tone, it provides a tone, instead of tone.
Meant to be noticeable, it often provides a tone or an
Yeah, I think I'm hearing it unaspirated. I might be wrong.
a tone or an
Tone. I think it is unaspirated, but regardless, make sure you aspirate that stop. We got t. You know, like not breathe out, but kind of make sure there's a puff of air coming out.
Tone or an emotional attitude to.
Okay.
An emotional attitude often provides a tone or an emotional attitude towards.
Okay, on this word attitude.
Or an emotional attitude towards.
I'm kind of hearing attitude. Attitude. What's wrong?
Emotional attitude towards.
Attitude. Okay, well, definitely I want the first vowel to be a.
A tone or an emotional attitude towards.
Okay, but if I'm feeling like but I want attitude.
Emotional attitude towards.
I'm trying to think about how the British say it. Attitude. Perhaps attitude. So maybe that the tia is fine if you're doing that. If you're going for American attitude instead of attitude, though, at least in most standard accents of American English.
Attitude towards the story.
Okay, so on this word towards, right?
Emotional attitude towards the.
I'm kind of thinking towards, but I want towards. So I'm not quite hearing the R come out.
Emotional attitude towards the story.
It almost sounds like you're saying like towoods, like TOWOODS, which isn't the word, but that's kind of like, I guess, the orthographic representation of that. So yeah, the vowel's a little funny, and I'm not hearing the R.
Towards the story and or the characters depicted. Towards the story and or the character.
Okay, on the all.
And or the characters due towards the story and or the.
I'm kind of hearing all. I don't know if it's the vowel or the consonant, or maybe a little bit of both. It almost sounds like so right, the L is going to be a lateral approximant, so the tip of the tongue will be in contact with the roof of the mouth, and the air is kind of flowing around, versus like a where the tongue tip is not necessarily touching the roof of the mouth. Here I'm kind of hearing like I'm in between of an R and an L, and also the vowel sounds a little odd.
Characters depicted. In addition, background and or the
I'm kind of hearing R, like almost like ARL, ARL. That's almost what I'm hearing.
characters depicted.
But here we want a very clear la, all.
Characters depicted. In addition, background.
Okay, and I'm hearing addition, but we want addition. So a schwa, like in the, addition, in addition.
In addition, background music often foreshadows a change in. In addition, background music often foreshadows a change in mode. And background music often foreshadows.
Shadows. What's wrong there?
Background music often foreshadows a change.
Doze. Okay, I'm kind of hearing doze on the last syllable, foreshadows, but I want doze, O's instead of O. I'm hearing O, but I want O. I think I mentioned this before. I forgot on what word. But yeah, we want foreshadows, or foreshadows, right? Foreshadows. I think that's how that's pronounced. It often foreshadows, blah, 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 instead of foreshadows, those that I'm kind of hearing.
Often foreshadows a change in mode. For example, change in mode.
I can't remember the text. I know someone else did this recently. I want to say it's a change in mood. It sounds like you're saying change in mode. If the word is mode, then perhaps that's fine. But I'm pretty sure it's mood. And in this case, I'm hearing mode.
A change in mode.
Right, I'm hearing mode. But I want mood.
For example, dissonant music may be used in film to indicate an approaching but not yet visible menace or disaster.
Okay, well, I think that's enough for one video. This is already getting a little long. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Overall, I think, yeah, you sound pretty decent. For very clear speech. Yeah, so take this and use it as you so please, and good luck.